understand the score sheet, 1 grade 3 is an automatic fail. 8 or more more than 8 grade 2s is also a fail. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 grade 2s. Okay, so the grade 1s don't matter. So let's start with the first one here, position turning right. When we turn right, we have to be as close as feasibly possible to the middle of the road, okay, the centre line, just left to the centre line. If a filter lane is provided to go right, we need to use that filter lane. Sometimes when we take a right-hand turn, we take it too early. You will receive a fault for that. If you take it too late and swan neck the turn, you will also be faulted for that. If you go too close to the curb or mount the curb, that will also be recorded as a fault. So I'm not sure what you did, but all of those things are examples of where you could incur a grade 2 fault for position turning right. When we turn left, again, we've got to use filter lanes if they're provided. Position turning left could also be that you weren't as close as feasibly possible to the left-hand side when making the turn and on completing the turn. And like the right-hand turn, we're not to mount or hit the curb. Observation turning left. This simply means that you did not carry out the correct observation when taking the left. The tester obviously felt that you didn't see something that you should have seen when making that left turn. Again, I don't know what exactly you did, but remember, when we're turning left, we look into the left, we look right, we look left, we look right again to make sure that the left-hand turn that we're taking is safe. Progress at roundabouts. What this means is that you weren't moving at the speed, at the flow of the traffic. You weren't moving at the correct speed. So when we enter roundabouts and when we leave roundabouts, we've got to do it in such a fashion that we're moving with the flow of the traffic. So I would say that you incurred the grade 2 fault here because you didn't actually move at the flow of the traffic. You were probably going just too slow. Vehicle controls clutch. Okay, very often with the clutch, what people can do is they can actually rest their foot on the clutch. They can hold the clutch in for too long. They can keep their foot on the clutch for a prolonged period of time. Also, it's very important that we use the clutch correctly when changing gears. Again, I'm not sure exactly what you were doing, but you have 2 grade 2s, so you need to address your clutch control. Gears are the same. You have to operate the gears properly. You have to use the correct gears for the situation that you're in the traffic. Again, you have 2 grade 2 faults here, so make sure that you are operating your gears in such a fashion that corresponds to the driving situations on the road. Handbrake. Very often this could be that you weren't using the handbrake when you needed to use the handbrake. So did you roll back? Did you not apply your handbrake? Did you leave the handbrake on when you were driving? Did you forget to take it off? It could be any one of those things. And finally, turnabout competently and observation. All right, so on your turnabout, competence means that you just didn't do it in a competent fashion. You might have done it too slow, you might have hit the curb, you might have done it incorrectly, you might have taken too many times to do it. And turnabout observation is that you didn't carry out the correct observation when you were doing the turnabout. Remember, on the turnabout, you've got to carry out 360-degree observation. So basically, you're looking all around you. What I would do is look over the left-hand side and make sure I can see all around the left before I start the turnabout. And then just as I'm moving off, you signal right, you release your handbrake, get into gear and look over your right shoulder and check to make sure nothing is coming up on your blind spot before you move off. Again, I would say that, you know, my advice to you would be, for your next driving lesson, before your next test, give your driving instructor this sheet and tell them that you need to work on your position turning left, your clutch and your gear control, and your turnabout. And if you can manage to master those things, there's every chance that you'll get a pass on your next test.